It's really, really wavy that day.
Because you're the rudder and I am the power.
On this special episode of Discover Wisconsin,
my leg is still stuck in the hole and I'm trying to get it out.
We were just kind of like caked in a layer of dust.
He's trying to get in front of the carriage.
Through the forest. Just
a gazelle, yeah, exactly. I remember when we were done with that, I turned to our producer and said, "You better use this shot."
our crew looks back on the funniest, craziest, and most memorable moments from Season 33 of Discover Wisconsin. This is the Best of Season 33, Part 1.
Hello and welcome to Discover Wisconsin.
Season 33 of Discover Wisconsin was our most anticipated season in our show's history. We filmed 25 episodes in more than 40 cities, towns, and villages, more than we've ever covered in a single season. In Part 1 of this special edition of Discover Wisconsin, we're taking a look back behind the curtain to tell you about our favorite moments from this momentous season.
Hands down, one of my most memorable things to film in Menomonie was dirt track racing at Red Cedar Speedway. I have never been to a speedway in Wisconsin before, so this was a very new experience for me. One thing I will never forget is how dirty we got. We sat in the front row thinking, oh, we'll get great shots from here. There wasn't really a lot of other people in the front row, and now I understand why, because you get just blasted with dirt and dust. I remember, leaving there and we were just kind of like caked in a layer of dust. I think this was the coldest shoot that I've ever been on.
I definitely would agree.
I mean, it was well below zero.
So ice fishermen, when they're done using a hole, they will usually cover it with snow. I did not know that. So I'm going around with the gimbal, and then next thing you know, I step in a hole and my entire right leg, like up to my knee, goes down in this hole. And like Jess said, it's completely freezing.
And it was funny because this was a pretty serious ice fishing tournament. It was really quiet and everybody was concentrating.
I remember my leg is still stuck in the hole and I'm trying to get it out.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I remember when we decided we were going to do an episode on West Bend, I had an idea in my mind as to what I thought this area was going to be like. And I was very taken aback in the best way as to how many beautiful parks and areas of serenity there are. And then we went to Ragnar Park. So I love the Labyrinth Garden stuff, but I'm a little mad at myself for keeping my bike helmet on. I don't know why I kept my bike helmet on. It looks kind of funny.
I've never really spent time in Fort Atkinson, so it was really awesome to learn about their history and about the people that make up this awesome community. One of the places we got to check out was Poyer's Farm Market. And Mary, she was such an awesome person to interview and such a lovely host. She actually showed us how she made the pies. The kitchen was so small. We can only fit one camera person, so I was the one that had to film in there. I think that day I went home with 2 or 3 pies. I had one pie for myself and I think a pie for my family, so that was pretty great.
Not all our viewers are from Wisconsin. We have a comment from Debbie. I was born and raised in Fort Atkinson, but moved to PA in 1983. This really makes me homesick. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Thank you so much. Seeing comments like that really make us feel like we're doing our job well. We definitely showcase an array of all that there is to do in a destination.
Don't forget, you can always watch full episodes of any of these shows from this season or any season by going to discoverwisconsin.com. You can also catch us on YouTube and any of the streaming devices, the Rokus, the Amazons, the Googles, the Apple TVs, you know them all.
Hey, you. Don't go away. We will be right back with this episode of Discover Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Discover Wisconsin. This is the best of season 33.
Dodgeville had a lot of cool moments, but I really loved going to Walnut Hollow because I love looking at family-owned businesses. I had never used a wood-burning set before. Hold on, I'm going to say that again because my tummy growled really loud.
I did hear that.
I had never used a wood-burning set before, and I'm standing right next to Hannah there, and she's like, here, take this 1,000-degree pen and do something with it on camera. I was concentrating pretty hard.
Trying not to burn yourself?
Yeah, but I will say this. I managed to freestyle that Discover Wisconsin logo pretty darn well, and I still have it hanging in my place.
One really fun shoot that we went on in Dodgeville was at Bob's Bitchin' Barbecue. Everyone, says, oh, you guys must be so lucky you eat all this food on your shoots. And yes, we are. But one thing that I think people might not know is that 90% of the time when we eat at the locations that we're shooting at, the food is cold because, of course, we have to film it. So we'll order our meals, we'll get the food, we have to set up lights, get these great shots of it, and then, 20 minutes later, we eat the food.
This Whitewater segment was really fun for me. What really stood out was this portion of segment 4 where they were talking about these haunted stories.
I didn't know as much about the paranormal history of the city and the witchcraft.
I have always had the opinion that horror sound designers have the most fun of any creative job. So we start with that kind of mysterious sounding music in the background.
And you go to the old water tower in town, and you're just standing there in this cylinder inside the water tower, and it's spooky as can be and really cool at the same time.
And as he starts talking about this witch, you start getting these reversed metal scratches. And that end of the conversation, I really wanted that to be a kind of return to the room, and so I actually added extra sound effects of him sipping the cup and gulping to kind of really bring that forward.
You'll know it if you see her. There is no mistaking who it is.
Okay.
I had just started here. I'd only been here like a month. One day Taylor invited me to go to Woodside Ranch just to kind of experience a DW shoot. So I went. I had no idea what we were doing all day. I had no idea what was going on, and I was so nervous. Oh my gosh, here's the carriage. The carriage is actually one of my favorite memories.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Teddy was like
Teddy
running
was
in front
running
and it was
outside
awesome.
the carriage. Teddy was trying to get the shot, and the carriage driver thought it would be like a funny race or something.
Yeah.
So he speeds up, and Teddy is like, what? He's trying to get in front of the carriage.
It's like a gazelle through the forest. Just
A
like...
gazelle, yeah, exactly. A gazelle through the forest.
Yeah.
Anything for the shot. I was like, wow. Like, this is what you
really going
guys
ham.
do every day?
I liked it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's a classic. It's a classic. For this intro, Teddy's horse was leading Mariah's while Teddy was riding backwards, recording Mariah on a gimbal. That was the most impressive videography experience ever. They had like 100 horses on site. They let all 100 of them out, so we got the most beautiful shot of like the sunset and the horses riding out. It was awesome.
Make sure to listen to the official podcast of Discover Wisconsin, The Cabin, streaming on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, anywhere you can listen to a podcast.
Well, what will we be back with? The best of season 33?
Yep.
Okay.
Same thing.
Don't go away. We will be back with the best of season 33. That was super lame. I have to do it one more time. Sorry.
Welcome back to Discover Wisconsin's Best of Season 33.
Oh, Wisconsin's walking tours, definitely a fun episode to film. We covered some really cool historic walking tours in 4 different towns in Wisconsin. We were in Waukesha, we were in Plymouth, we went to Burlington, and we went all the way up to Ashland. In Plymouth, I actually broke my shoe on my way to interview a local there. I don't even remember what I ended up doing. I think I had to tape my shoe. There's this beautiful dam in Burlington, and our producer Brian said, let's go there. I want to get some really nice sunset shots. So we get there, and this particular shot you're seeing right now must have taken like 78 takes. I remember when we were done with that, I turned to our producer Brian and said, you better use this shot because it took us so many times.
Whenever our crew gets word that we're doing another Door County episode, there's always a little bit of arguing over who gets to work on it, because even though we're working, it always feels like a vacation.
One of the things I really remember about filming in Door County for season 33 is filming on the kayak. Not only was it my first time filming on a kayak, it was my first time actually on a kayak too.
So here we are, I'm getting all of the history of the ships, and then suddenly, here goes the bridge, it's going up, and we've got this huge ship coming through.
Pam's in the back, she's paddling for me because I'm holding the camera. It's really, really wavy that day. So it's going up, and I'm trying to keep it balanced. So I'm shifting my weight to the front. We're taking in a bit of water, so, you know, lessons learned, and if the footage is really, really wavy, that's my fault, and I apologize. Also in Door County, we went to Egg Harbor. We filmed half the show there. Egg Harbor's a really, really beautiful town. I mean, off the piers and all that, you're gonna get spectacular views of Lake Michigan. It's not Lake Michigan, is it? What lake is it?
No, it's Lake Michigan.
Is it Lake?
Yep.
Lake Michigan. Bay of Green Bay, Lake Michigan. You have your choice of words there, what you want to call it.
Okay, I want to talk about the Wisconsin Land Trust Days episode. It's a great episode, but it was like one of the more fun ones behind the scenes.
Yeah, you got to see some really awesome stuff in Wisconsin.
One of my favorite moments was filming in Hazelhurst. They wanted some shots of me doing some serene canoeing. We have you, like, he's the captain of the canoe. I'm in the back, you know, like doing my paddling on camera. And then we have a camera guy in the middle, like sitting down in the canoe. Yep. Facing me. Just a vision of
honestly, I don't know how I have so much trouble paddling with you in a boat. Like, I don't know.
Maybe we're just not a good paddling team.
Yeah, we're not on the same page at all.
I just remember laughing so hard because they were trying to get, our producer was like, no, I just need Mariah in a moment of zen on Lake Catherine. I was like, sure, no problem. It's beautiful out here. But then I was just laughing so hard because you kept getting us in circles.
I think you kept on getting us in circles because you're the rudder and I am the power.
I think
so I'm pulling. Oh, no, I don't think so, ma'am.
Well, in my defense, I had to think about my moment of zen. I was trying to get in the zone.
See, I feel like this is a diva moment going on right here.
Well, we all have our diva moments. It was fun, though.
It was a fun day.
We trekked up to Baileys Harbor in Door County for a Fungus Among Us hike for our Wisconsin Land Trust Days show, and Charlotte was not afraid to get all up in the mushrooms business. Like, a lot of these mushrooms, I would be like, heck no, techno, I'm not touching that. She was just like, I'm gonna cut it out of the ground and I'm going to, you know, get the goop off of it and then pass it around and let y'all touch it.
Go binge season 33 right now on Discover Wisconsin's YouTube channel or at discoverwisconsin.com.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more season 33 coming right up.
Welcome back to Discover Wisconsin. We're checking out our favorite moments from season 33.
I had such a great time spending the day in Tomah. I got to visit some great places right on Main Street. The thing that stands out to me the most was visiting with Mike Murray, with Murray's on Main. I mean, Mike is just such a great character. We had some wonderful conversation off camera as well. I think the thing that stands out to me the most is his brandy old-fashioned milkshake. One of his waitresses just sort of came up with it, and he's like, oh my goodness, this is such a great hit. We got to start serving this. And I totally understand. If you go to Murray's on Main, You gotta try it. The brandy old-fashioned milkshake. You will not be disappointed. Our last stop of the day was at Vino Anjo, and this just kind of shows the uniqueness of what Tomah has to offer. And Jolene, the owner there, this was kind of her dream come true to be able to develop a place like this. And you walk right in, and there was a gentleman singing and playing guitar when we walked in. And that's sort of commonplace there. Yeah, there you see him in the background. You'll get some good music, get some good wine, meet some fun people. It's a wonderful place to hang out. And again, it just adds to the character of what Tomah has to offer.
Columbia County was such a fun episode to film. We filmed in 4 communities there: Portage, Poynette, Columbus, and Cambria.
Columbia County holds a very special spot in my heart. That's where I grew up in. I grew up in a town called Partyville. Yes, Partyville. It's a nice drive down memory lane. And also, I got to discover some new things that I didn't know that Columbia County had. Honestly, the one thing that's kind of big in Columbia County is curling.
I had no idea what curling was as a name, and then once I saw the activity, I'm like, oh yeah, I think I've seen that before, but I had no idea how I would do. So I was kind of intimidated at first because these were little kids that were looking pretty solid. I got told that I was one of the quickest to take to curling. I was actually really good on my form, but then that was about it. I had a really great time learning about something I had no idea existed, and then the challenge of trying to get better at it in that short period of time.
This season, 33, was a blast to work on. We did more shows than we have ever done before.
I get to go to a lot of really beautiful places, unique places, places I would never go to on my own.
I didn't have that much knowledge about this state coming into this job, and now I am participating in a weekly podcast talking about this state.
I like the variety. No day is ever the same because you never know what's going to happen.
Anything and everything that makes Wisconsin awesome, you get to showcase as part of Discover Wisconsin, and that's why I love it.
There's so much about the state that I didn't know about until I became part of the Discover Wisconsin team.
It's just a fun legacy to be a part of, and we have the best crew in the world.
How could you not look forward to coming to the office every day when you're out in the field with the Discover Wisconsin crew?
We hope you've enjoyed part 1 of Discover Wisconsin's Best of Season 33. Remember, you can watch full episodes from this season online and on streaming devices. We'll be back in part 2 with more behind-the-scenes stories from the Discover Wisconsin crew.
You want to talk about crashing the drone? I mean, I don't really remember it all that well. All I remember is just watching the drone fall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Flying it under a bridge.
My impression of Dave would be, can you just try that with like a little bit more energy, but not too much energy, but something like right in the middle?
Words that the hosts don't like to say. Mariah doesn't like the word rural. That just ends up being a tongue twister for all the other words surrounding rural.
I feel like this is like an airplane armchair situation.
Do you get that side?
You got 2 sides then.
I already have the bad side of my face showing.
I'll just like...
It was really cool watching all the sawing that goes on. The sawdust smell was on. I sneezed a few times. Is that Mariah behind me?
Flinch!
I'm calm, cool, and collected.
Not even flinch!
When I'm on camera, I am calm, cool, and collected. Isn't that right, Mariah?
That was super impressive.